We're rolling.
And we're rolling. Hello everybody, I'm Bernie, N1NDN, and we've been doing some antenna testing in the park today, and we've come to some interesting conclusions. We have 4 antennas total. We have the 43-foot vertical here. This is the new version put out by Alpha Antenna. It's basically a remodel of the old S9 by LDG. This antenna is actually, the pole on it is 34 feet long, and there's 10 feet of wire that extends out of it, and we've modified it and we've added some Army tent poles in there to make it a true 43-foot vertical as it was originally. At the bottom I have a Ballon Designs 4-to-1 Ballon, and I have a 30-foot counterpoise coming off of that, which is above the ground. And we've had it anywhere from 1 foot above the ground to 5 or 6 feet above the ground. It just doesn't seem to make a difference as long as it's above the ground. So 43-foot vertical, 30-foot counterpoise above the ground with a 4-to-1 Ballon. Then on the picnic table here we have a new antenna from Wolf River Coils. This is called their SB1000 TIA, Take It Along kit. And it comes with the tripod, the coil, and the whip. And we've been comparing the 2 verticals today, and we've had some really good results with it. They're actually very similar. It would be hard, you'd be hard pressed to tell a big difference. On some places the 43-foot vertical one, on other places the Wolf River Coil one. So it just kind of depends on what direction you're actually working. The Wolf River Coil has 3 counterpoises. 3 that come right off the bottom here, and we've just got them spread on the ground. And the tripod is just a nice machine steel tripod with an SO239 on the bottom to hook your coax. This kit here is very portable. This pole extends out, or you can make it shorter. It's a telescoping pole. The bottom is a 3/8 24 connector. You can buy an MFJ, I think it's the model number 1759. That's a 17-foot vertical that screws in here. That'll work fine. The Take It Along kit includes this telescoping whip, so that's why I bought the kit. It had the whip, the large coil, and the tripod. They also sell a small coil, which is about half this size if you wanted to try it for backpacking. This weighs about 4 pounds total, so it's a little heavy, I think, for doing soda work. But if you're playing here in the park like we are today, throw this thing on a picnic table. Setup is very easy. The one thing that I don't like about this antenna is that this sleeve right here will slide up and down the coil, and that's how you tune it. And you really need an antenna analyzer. You can tune it for maximum noise on the radio and then use a antenna tuner, but that's not necessarily the right way to do it. You should try to find the lowest SWR and the lowest Z, try to get it close to 50 ohms if you can. At this current position, it's about 2.2 to 1, and the ohms are about maybe 47, 48 ohms. So it's close to resonant, but not quite. We're still using a tuner to tune it out. But the sleeve can be adjusted up and down, and this is good from 80 meters up to 6 meters. If you want to adjust it for anything above 20 meters, you got to bring the sleeve right up to the top, and then you're pretty much just using the whip. And you can move the whip up and down to make it resonant on whatever band you want above 20 meters. I have not tried it on 40 and 80 yet. Maybe we'll do a future report, but on 20 meters, this one is competing very well with the 43-foot vertical over there. Also as comparison, we hooked up a 20 and 40 meter dipole. This is by Soda Beams. I highly recommend this antenna. Very, very easy to set up. We literally threw it over the tree branch. It includes the wire that hooks to the radio. And if you look in the middle, you'll see alligator clips. Hopefully you can see those. When the alligator clips are undone, it's a 20 meter antenna. When you hook the alligator clips together, it's a 40 meter antenna. And it is resonant, so you don't need a tuner. And I've tried it out in several different places. I've tried it out on 8 or 9 summits. We've used it in the park a couple of times. It's a proven antenna. It works good. You can order it from Soda Beams. I think it's about $80 shipped. Might be a penny or two more, but very, very good antenna. And you can probably make one too. I didn't bother to make it. I really liked it because it came all in one kit. The stakes, everything is in one bag, and it weighs, I don't know, maybe a pound, a little over a pound. So it's far lighter than the other antennas that we have here. But we put it up as a comparison to the vertical, and the dipole is winning every time. The dipole has made a difference of sometimes as little as 1 S unit to sometimes as much as 4 or 5 S units, depending on who we've worked. So the dipole is definitely the clear winner here, but the verticals are also very easy to set up, and you don't need a tree branch to throw them over if you're operating from a summit that doesn't have a tree, or if you're maybe in a desert or something that doesn't have tree branches. We don't seem to have that problem here in the Northeast. We've got a lot of tree branches. So the dipole is good. And then we also have, we just put up an Easy Military antenna from Alpha. This is the older version. This has the older balun and the older whip, and we've tried different configurations with the counterpoises, and we've actually found that 2 counterpoises coming off the whip, which effectively extend the length of the whip, and then 2 counterpoises at the bottom for grounding, that seems to be the best case scenario. However, when we put it up and we're listening to stations, it's just not working as well. I'm afraid I could not recommend this antenna. It's okay. I did use it. I actually made probably 1,000 contacts on it when we did national parks on the air. So it does work. There's no question about it. But I think the point that I want to make is there are other choices out there that are less expensive and I believe better antennas. So far, the least expensive antenna here is the Wolf River Coils. That was $138 delivered. The 43-foot vertical, I believe that was $170 delivered. And like I say, don't be confused because it is a 34-foot pole with a 43-foot wire. And you got to find something to do with the other 10 feet of wire. And I was told by Steve from Alpha Antennas that you can extend the 10 feet of wire out and make it a NVIS antenna. And I did find that it does work that way. If you pull the 10 feet of wire out and just put it on a tripod so that the balun is just kind of balancing out in the middle, 10 feet away from the vertical, and then run that 30-foot counterpoise off of it, it did have some NVIS qualities to it. We worked the station on 80 meters. I think we worked him on 40 and 80, and he was maybe 100 miles away south of us. So it did work good. We played with that portable in the park, in another park a few weeks ago. So that's our take on the antenna. We're finding that the vertical antennas work good. The dipole works better. If you have a tree, the dipole is probably the easiest one to work with. And if you like the vertical antenna and you like to play, I would recommend the Wolf River Coil. It's just that you probably should have a SWR analyzer with you because it is difficult when you're moving that sleeve up and down to get the SWR correct. That's the one ding on that antenna. So anyway, I'm Bernie, N1 November Delta November. Thanks for watching our video.